What's up, Lorehounds? It's Cooper here. I'm in ZQ Games booth. Actually, behind us, Total Recall Online. You may not have heard about it. It's been hush-hush right now. I'm here with KJ Lane. He's going to give us a little information from the producer aspect. So, I mean, give it to us. You got a great IP, a perfect time. The movie just came out. Where are you guys going with this? Typical MMORPG?
We're actually trying to expand upon the world of Total Recall. The movies just came out, and it's generally been getting some good reception, and we're looking towards expanding this universe into an MMO world where players are experiencing something that can actually help take them into the movie, as well as watching the movie and taking them back to the game. And this expands on the storyline so much that it allows you to draw new connections. And also, from a gameplay perspective, you'll be able to expand upon all the technologies that the sci-fi IP talks about, like the recall chair and various spy-related intrigue that comes from the game.
So let's stick with the lore, considering we're Lorehound. Where does this take place primarily? Because in the original movie we see Earth and Mars and stuff like that.
Well, the IP largely takes place on Earth, and with the original story, it also takes place on Earth. Mars was more like a dream state where he was thinking about where he possibly might have been on Mars. In our IP, we're mostly on Earth, and we're expanding across different territories of the world.
So we also saw that there's two factions. There's the resistance and the government. What are the stories between the two? Because as we've seen in the other IP, the movies mainly, they're very obvious that who's good and who's bad.
Now, because we wanted to, paint a more complex world with the game, we didn't want to make it so that it was just black and white. We wanted to make sure that, the government and the resistance have both good and bad people. When players enter our world, they'll be able to sympathize with either the government side, which, some are actually trying to do good in the world, as opposed to the resistance, which some are trying to really change the world in a very dramatic way.
So ZQ Games is actually a Chinese company. You guys got this great IP. Is this your stepping stone to get over here and really ingrain yourself?
In many ways, it is. I mean, we've been working on a variety of games to get into the Western market, and some have succeeded quite well, actually. But Total Recall really represents our big step forward, and for a Chinese game company to take a Hollywood IP like this and transform it into a multiplayer game is really a rare opportunity. And this is really a combination of people who can communicate on both sides, can work together, and overall create a good product over two countries.
So to get into the gameplay a little bit, this is corely being designed for the Western audience. Is it being launched in the Western audience first, or is it like a worldwide thing?
Yes, this is something where we're focusing on targeting the worldwide audience, and obviously the Western market is the biggest piece of this because Total Recall is a Hollywood product, and as with any Hollywood products, it's for the worldwide market, including China and Asia territories.
What do we have as far as classes and weapon and combat? How does that play out?
Well, we have 3 professions, and the way they start off is that they start off in very normal professions, like similar to like the original Total Recall or the new Total Recall, in that you're starting from a normal profession, whether you're a worker, you're an analyst, or you're a doctor. You're a person with these normal professions that will evolve into higher level states of those professions. And in the game, as you enter into a certain faction, you'll also be able to gain a few skills as well.
So in the trailer we actually saw there was some sort of modes of transportation, so there's vehicles. And there's also a hint at companions, and the companions are something we can upgrade and change as we grow.
Yes, absolutely. And in referring back to transportation, we have hover cars, we have more like mag cars, and then which are magnetically driven, and then you have motorcycles, which are more futuristic, and then you also have other modes of transportation such as taxi transportation systems. And from the what we call the synth mercenary system, it's really about having your own personal bodyguard that you can rent from a certain corporation in the game, which also appears in the movie, and you can take along with you.
It sounds like there's a lot of opportunity for moral issues. You say there's good and bad on both sides. Yeah. Is there anything like that we're going to see as we quest through?
Yes, with this game, we want to paint on a lot of gray zones in terms of the moral and ethical areas of what people can do and what people experience, especially when you have 2 opposing factions in the game, and you also have these players who are trying to do good and bad on both sides. So what you do will essentially change the world, and what you do can also, be in very gray areas of the law or gray areas of, what kind of change you're trying to institute.
So you mentioned that people can see what you're doing. Is there a big community aspect? Is there guilds or anything along those lines?
Yes, we do have something we call companies, and these are basically an assembly of people who have similar beliefs or people who want to get together, for whatever reason they deem is a common interest. So these guys would, go about changing the world in their own way.
Okay, so Total Recall Online, when are we actually going to be able to start getting our hands on it? Is it going to be a beta process, or are we going to go straight launch?
Well, I believe we're expected to have a closed beta very soon. There's no specific date yet, but we can expect somewhere around Q3 2012, and look forward to the game.
That's for closed beta or for launch?
That is around closed beta and open. Yeah, both.
It looks great. I mean, it's a AAA browser. It looks fantastic browser game.
Yeah.
So we got, what, a couple of months to wait to see before we get our hands on it?
Maybe even shorter. And, the thing is that this is really what we believe to be a next generation browser game. It's a full 3D one, and not many like it are out there at the moment.
Hey, Lorehounds, Total Recall Online Q3, change your world.